we'll see King Charles do this because he's not confrontational. I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren in Omid Scobie's book. So I think he's going to continue to tiptoe.
But of course, the real measure of success of both of them will be the same as it always has been. How much damage can they inflict on our royal family, on our monarchy? I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
One thing becomes clear. There's no turning back.
But Kimsey, you recently interviewed a friend of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take...
There is no trust when it comes to Prince Harry. And the picture he tries to paint with Queen Elizabeth, even saying during that BBC interview that the Queen wanted him to have this level of security, we're finding out the truth, and it's that she bothered by them.
Major breaking news out of London. Buckingham Palace announcing Harry and Meghan will no longer formally represent the Queen. That means they will no longer receive public funds and they will stop using their royal titles. Those changes will take effect this spring. So Katie Nicholl is now joining.
It's my pleasure. It's a big news story. As you can imagine over here, it really has, well, the phone hasn't stopped ringing, put it that way.
And in terms of your initial reaction to this latest news, that in fact it feels like it's a full removal in the sense of not just senior royal duties, but
a progressive new role within the royal family. While the royal family does modernize, I mean, the Queen sends tweets, it is an age-old institution, and I think that idea of tradition and everything we expect of the monarchy doesn't quite sit well with that idea of
Prince Harry's royal titles are facing a direct threat, not from family squabbles, but from the very heart of the British government. The House of Lords is pushing to activate the Titles Deprivation Act, a move that could permanently alter his status. This isn't just about public perception or family disagreements, it's a concrete legal action. Before we dive into how things started unraveling, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into deep dives like this. We break down the biggest stories in entertainment without the fluff, just facts, receipts, and a bit of chaos. And trust me, you're going to want to see how this one ends.
It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the King in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security.
If this measure passes, the Duke of Sussex title, along with his Royal Highness styling, could vanish, leaving him as simply Mr. Harry Windsor. This shift would fundamentally change his identity and his access to the global stage, stripping away the royal brand that has been central to his recent endeavors. This isn't a symbolic gesture. It is a legal scalpel aiming to sever the last royal tether.
But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah. But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches, she has got to, the Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy it.
Lady who's very popular for being awful.
Prince William, he's reportedly furious after it emerged that Meghan Markle is still using her HRH title, despite agreeing to drop the title when the Sussexes left royal duties.
I think Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HRH.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth. She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
If it passes, it won't matter how many Netflix deals Harry and Meghan secure or how many books they publish. The ultimate reset would occur. The HRH would be gone, the Duke of Sussex title would be a memory, and Harry would be left with a Montecito mansion, staff, security, and the haunting echo of what he once was. This marks a clear and decisive moment, demonstrating that the relationship between Harry and the monarchy has reached a critical breaking point, moving beyond mere strained ties to a full legal confrontation. Sources close to Prince Harry say he is devastated and enraged by this development. He is reportedly pacing his mansion, feeling like a lion trapped in a gilded cage. He has called the move vindictive, attributing it to jealousy and intense media pressure. However, this isn't a media campaign. This is the government, and this is the law. This is the consequence of biting the hand that once fed him and still expecting favors. His legal team is now scrambling, desperately searching for loopholes to preserve at least some of the protections afforded by his titles. But there appears to be no easy escape, as Parliament intends to set a clear precedent. Meghan's team is not remaining silent amidst these developments.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her again.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace.
They are doubling down on accusations, alleging that the UK is engaging in bullying tactics and racism, attempting to silence a biracial woman who dared to voice her truth. Yet the public sentiment appears to have shifted dramatically. Many are no longer convinced by these claims, viewing the situation as less about racial discrimination and more about fundamental principles of respect and protocol. The perception is that one cannot monetize personal trauma by attacking an institution and then still expect to retain the privileges associated with it.
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about stakes?
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
But here's the real gut punch. People in Sussex, his own...
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Is stepping in with a clear message: if you want the fame and the money, then drop the crown.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
With King Charles on his way out, Prince William is expected to take over the crown. And apparently at the top of his list is to say, "Peace out, Meghan, you're done." And he plans to formally strip Meghan Markle of her royal title.
This current push for title removal isn't the first warning shot. Queen Elizabeth had already made her stance crystal clear. Stepping back from royal duties meant stepping away from the associated perks.
Her supporters, who are usually more sympathetic, say he's finally crossed the line. This isn't just tabloid fatigue or royal drama burnout, it's a nationwide rejection. Across the political spectrum, the message is the same: the title no longer fits the man. And for Harry, that shift is more damaging than any headline.
This included losing access to HRH status, taxpayer-funded security, and the ability to profit from the royal brand.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed.
Despite these explicit warnings, Harry and Meghan appeared to agree, only to then conduct a revealing interview with Oprah, seemingly disregarding the established boundaries. Since that moment, a steady stream of actions has been perceived as betrayals, escalating the tensions to their current breaking point. The timing of this intense debate in the House of Lords is particularly striking. It follows closely on the heels of Prince Harry losing his legal battle over taxpayer-funded security.
Agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
You're in America now, and we don't give a about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Now, Meghan, just last week, she did her first long-form sit-down podcast interview. She showed a basket that she had sent to the host of the podcast as a thank you for allowing her to come on. And here you can kind of zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
Just hours later, his now infamous BBC interview aired. Rather than showing humility, Harry appeared on air, his voice cracking with self-pity, declaring his desire for reconciliation.
What the monarchy means for the monarchy.
Well, people are talking about it being a constitutional crisis, and I'm not sure it is a constitutional crisis. I mean, through circumstance and the Cambridges having 3 children, Harry slipped down from being the spare to the heir to the 6th.
Let's be real. Harry's reputation in the UK is collapsing fast. The latest polling shows 62% of people want his title stripped. Among older voters and conservatives, that number jumps past 70%. Even this call for reconciliation came after a memoir that reportedly accused his brother of physical assault, his stepmother of scheming, and his father of neglect. Many found his mention of his father's remaining time chilling and ominous, seeing it as another calculated chess piece in a public relations game. King Charles has taken a notably hands-off approach to this escalating situation. There have been no heartfelt statements or public gestures of reconciliation from him towards his youngest son. His silence is a calculated response as he has been publicly attacked in books, accused of racism, and even critiqued on his parenting. Charles understands that any direct move to protect Harry at this juncture would likely worsen the situation for the monarchy. Instead, he is stepping back, allowing Parliament to assume the role of the bad cop, thereby keeping his own hands clean. This tactical retreat could achieve his goal of creating distance without appearing to be a cruel father. Public opinion has shifted dramatically, turning into a landslide against Prince Harry and Meghan. Polls reveal that a significant 62% of Brits now support stripping them of all remaining titles. Among older voters and loyalists of the monarchy, this number climbs to over 70%. Even younger demographics, who were once their strongest base of support, are now turning away. The public feels used, particularly by the perceived contradiction of seeking privacy while simultaneously publicizing their lives for profit. Even Sussex, the very region Harry represents, is seeing a surge in petition signatures, with locals feeling abandoned and betrayed. Even American media, which once showered Harry and Meghan with adulation, is starting to change its tune. The same talk shows and magazines that initially championed their narrative are now posing difficult questions. Late-night hosts are even making jokes at their expense. Hollywood executives who once eagerly pursued the couple for content deals are reportedly whispering that the royal brand is no longer aging well. Without the titles and the inherent mystique, Harry and Meghan risk becoming just 2 wealthy former royals living in a mansion, attempting to sell a narrative that fewer and fewer people are willing to buy. The Crown is moving forward, increasingly demonstrating that it no longer needs the Sussexes. Prince William and Kate are soaring in popularity, while Queen Camilla is quietly gaining widespread respect. The focus has decisively shifted back to stability, tradition, and continuity within the monarchy. Harry and Meghan are increasingly being seen as the chaos that the palace has survived, becoming a mere footnote in an otherwise orderly institution.
If Parliament succeeds in its efforts, they will soon be former royals in every sense of the word, facing a future where their global influence and identity may be significantly diminished.